Okay, boys, here's a good one. Welcome back to the channel. The camera is going to shake like crazy because it's sitting on my leg, so, oh well, give it a good jiggle. There we go. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Matthias, and it's my job to tell you how to turn life into a game, to give you some examples so that you can finally feel motivated to live your life the way you know you're supposed to live it, but, can't help but play video games all day because there's so much more motivating to play and so much more fun. So, oh well, I guess I'll just escape into video games forever. No, not on my watch, because I'm going to show you how to turn life into a game and make your real life, all your goals that you want to achieve, just as entertaining, just as motivating as achieving gaming goals. If real life turns into a game, and you like games, we all know we do, if we feel very motivated to play a game for 8 hours a day, well, you can feel motivated to play real life for 8 hours a day. You work out, keep your diet, learn a language, cold showers, yada, yada, yada. You can do it all and feel motivated to do it. And it does not feel like a chore. It feels like a game. It feels fun. This channel shows you how. So today we are going to talk about something, rather myself is going to talk about something, and you get to listen. Good for you. Listening is so much better than talking. It really is. All right. Anyway, neither here nor there. What we're going to talk about is the road of escapism. What exactly the steps are, why someone escapes, why they feel that, how they end up in escapism. Like, that's it. It's like how they end up in escapism. So, there we go. Perfect. All right. You start out in life, a young child. Beautiful young child. You probably have big frizzy hair and everyone's like, oh, she's so cute. And you're like, it's a boy. That's what happened to me. It was lovely. They thought I was a beautiful child. Anyway, you start out as a child, you're like 6 or 7. You have a desire in your heart. You have a drive, a dream, and you're all the way up to 12 years old and you have a drive and a dream. You want to do something. You have something deep in you that's calling to be fulfilled. You have a personal destiny given to you by your creator. You feel like doing it, but something comes along and tells you, no, that's not good enough. You're not good enough. You're not worthy. You're inadequate. You are illegitimate. They invalidate your drive, your goal, your dream. They invalidate your dream. It can be parents, siblings, school kids, movies, whatever. Your dreams are invalidated. Instead, they tell you you aren't good enough, and you aren't, like, your ideas are dumb, or they're stupid, or that's immature. Grow up. That's a big thing, is just grow up. It's like, oh, you want to be a superhero with a cape? Grow up. It's like, well, Batman sure did it, and I know technically Batman is fantasy, but still, when you have it, neither here nor there, you have a desire, something in your heart that pulls you, that you do not feel fulfilled until you do it. And it is invalidated, and you are invalidated along with it. So what happens is, if I can read my notes, they give you this emotional wound, emotional pain, this feeling of being unvalued, of being worthless, of being not good enough. And so we end up trying to fill that eventually. See, their words get kind of stuck in our heads and they become our words. And we create this thing in our own head called the taskmaster. That's my name for it. In psychology, it can be called the inner critic, or a whole bunch of things. You create a taskmaster in your head that says, look, all these people say your ideas are lame, you're not good enough, you're not whatever. It's like you specifically, not just your ideas. Not, oh, you have good ideas, but you're not good enough to achieve your ideas. It's not that. It's, your ideas stink, you stink, you're bad. And it's a very critical attitude. So eventually you build this taskmaster in your head, and it's there to protect you. It's your own mind. Usually this happens when you're a kid, so it's not, your mind doesn't do a very good job of protecting you, but it's trying. Your taskmaster is a defense mechanism to help you not get belittled and ridiculed and put down and criticized. You develop the taskmaster, your inner critic that pushes you to better yourself so that those above you don't disapprove of you anymore. They don't ridicule you, they don't make fun of you, they don't put you down or yell at you or hit you, etc. Whatever the form of abuse was. So, your taskmaster gets stronger and stronger, and he pushes you to better yourself and say, okay, look, if they think you're dumb or stupid or weak or whatever, you're not good enough, then you need to get good. Okay, so here's how. Tasks, things, do all this stuff. Self-improvement, that's where so many of us get our drive for self-improvement. It's our taskmaster saying, you're not good enough until you do this. So, that, it gets so strong over the years, and especially in our age of social media, where we have so much information and so many examples of people living these perfect lives, that the standard is raised impossibly high. So it's like, okay, you need to be better so that you aren't put down anymore. What does better look like? And you go on social media and you just see every possible height of achievement. And it's like, oh yeah, be all of that. That's what your taskmaster tells you. Well, what is that? Perfection. It wants you to be perfect. That's where you get perfectionism. So many of us are perfectionists. Not like inherently, but we choose to be. That is our current mode of life. Because our taskmaster is just trying to protect us and say, look, you need to not be put down anymore and ridiculed and made fun of and in danger. And essentially what the main wound is shame. Perfectionism comes from shame. You need to not be ashamed. These people need to stop shaming you. And the only way to do that is for you to just be better. So, pushes you to be perfect. That's where you get your perfectionism. It's to avoid shame of not being good enough or smart enough or whatever, or having terrible ideas. That's a terrible life goal. You wanna, start this company or be a fireman or whatever. That's a terrible idea. Get a job, go to college. That's what, get a job and go to college. That's just everyone's life goal, isn't it? Yeah. All right, so that's where you get perfectionism. It's the taskmaster working overtime in this modern world saying, oh, look, you need to be perfect. All of this is to avoid the shame that was that childhood wound. Maybe you got it when you were 12 or 15, like who knows when you became a perfectionist. But that leads to procrastination. When you have your taskmaster telling you, be perfect, you end up procrastinating on everything in life because you're afraid of failure. Because failure means that the taskmaster will yell at you, and everyone else will also yell at you and make fun of you for failing, and you'll feel more shame. So you set the bar. You do one of two things. You either set the bar so low that you can't possibly fail, so you never feel any shame. These are the people who play dumb, who say, oh no, I'll never accomplish anything. Oh, I'm not that good. I'm not that smart. I'm not whatever. They set the bar so low that when they do anything that's actually of quality, it's like, whoa, dude, good job. You can praise them and like, oh wow, I feel so good. If they actually set the bar where it was, then they would fail a decent amount of time, and they're afraid of feeling that shame because their taskmaster is just so loud, and the people in their life oftentimes are also very loud and shaming people for not, being good enough, for not being perfect. So your procrastination comes from fear of shame, and perfectionism and procrastination are close brothers. They're almost the same thing. They're like twins. All right. Lastly, that leads to escapism. This is why you play Skyrim for 12 hours a day. 12 hours a day. To avoid this suffering, both from your own taskmaster and from the harsh words of the world around you, you escape into fantasy worlds where you can easily live your destined life. In the fantasy world, you are a hero with the 3 pillars that were discussed previously. You are fearless and unstoppable and destined for greatness. You are the chosen one. That whole concept of being the chosen one, it appears in so many stories, games, and movies, is the idea that you have a destiny. You have a purpose. Someone designed you to do something. It's not all on you. Someone actually has a plan for your life. You're meant to be great. You're supposed to be. That's your destiny. That's who you are. You can adopt that as your identity. You are the chosen one. We love that concept of, oh wow, my personal destiny is validated. That's great. So we escape into games where it's like, oh, you're the Dragonborn, you're the chosen one, you're the Narrative Arene, the chosen one. We like that. Why? Because we're supposed to have it in real life. That's why. We can't find it in real life, so we just look for it in games, but you can find it in real life, and we'll show you. This might be a long video. Right, so, in the fantasy world, you're a hero. You have the 3 pillars, fearless and unstoppable. Everyone supports you, and those who oppose you are easily crushed. Like, you're powerful, you're the Dragonborn. You know what you want. Right, so, this, you see games like Skyrim, and you're like, that's what I want. I would just live that forever if I could. So you know what you want. In real life, you know that you want that. You want Skyrim, okay? You know that being a hero, living according to destiny, not just, oh, whatever I feel like, knowing that there's a purpose, that you have a purpose, and it's not just whatever you decided to do that morning. You have a literal purpose and a life mission. You are a chosen one for something. Knowing that and striving toward it with the 3 pillars and people supporting you and all of that. You know that is your heart's desire. That in your core, as a man, that is what you want to do and what you want to be. You see, you know that you want this because you see a reflection of it in games. You're attracted to the game. That means that's what you actually want. Now it's your time to see that concept does actually exist in the real world. It exists in real life for you. You can actually turn your life into something like Skyrim. You really can. You absolutely can. Being a hero, being fearless, having a purpose and fulfilling your destiny, collecting and expressing the 3 pillars, all of it. You can really be a hero instead of resorting to escapism. And in the next video, we'll tell you how. Thank you for watching. Feed the algorithm, all that. It's awfully hungry. And give me money, please. Thank you very much. Goodbye.